Thank you. Thank you very much. Our first question that we have tonight is on 5G. Is it harmful?
There was a version that was going to harm, but we disarmed that. The version now that is in public is functional to what it was purposely made for. There is no worry there.
No worry for the 5G.
No worry.
Is there a harmful version of the 5G that they're planning on using on us at all?
There was a harmful version that was made, but we disarmed that, and it doesn't work for them. They are confused why it doesn't. They are frustrated because they had great hopes that it was going to do a whole lot of destruction for humanity. And so we did pause that. They will not be able to fix that. It's no longer possible for them to use that weaponry on humanity.
Wonderful. Is there anything else you want to tell us about the 5G?
The people that are still afraid of this technology have not done their inner work. They are still fear-based. They're still scared of their, I want to say they're still scared of the boogeyman. They want to hold on to some fear, and they are still holding too tight to the 3D world. So they really need to look within themselves and wonder why they are holding on to an old potential timeline that could have harmed. So we want to say to all the people that are afraid of the 5G technology that it is safe now. We are looking and protecting over you, and we want you to trust us. We are doing our jobs, and you need to do yours, which is release all fear.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're being told there is a plan, a White House siege for the 17th of September. Is that true?
Yes, there's people that are wanting to cause some drama, to effectively get onto TV and to make a movement and just make noise, and that is not a very good time for them. It's a waste of their time and energy, but they want to feel like they're making a difference, that their voice is counted. They feel they've come from a little bit of ego, where they feel that their siege is going to be impactful and it's going to make big changes, and they are really wasting their time because they could be using it more effectively for own inner growth. But this is part of them feeling connected to their community of like-minded people that want to rage against the man and rage against the system. So they have free will to do that, but things might be quite different then.
Okay. How long will that go on?
They're planning to go for 15 days. So they want to be taken seriously. They have a mission, and they are getting themselves prepared. Intuitively, they know a big change is coming. They just don't understand what. And so they're wanting to be part of the solution and help. Unfortunately, they don't know all of the other things that are going to be happening. So they're going to get caught up and mixed up in things that they actually have no actual awareness of what's about to happen.
Are they? Okay.
Protesting is never going to help anyone at this moment for anything. We ask that you all go and do your own inner work and be connected, connect in with your team, connect in with your spiritual team, hear your own answers and voice within. If you want to make a protest and be connected to your communities, you can easily do that in the comfort and safety of your own home.
Well, so what is the purpose of this?
It is a group of people that want to feel like they're making a stand, and they want their 15 minutes of fame, which is going to last 15 minutes, 15 days. They're wanting attention, they're wanting to be heard, and they're afraid, and they think their numbers will be powerful.
But it's not going to do any good, you said.
It's not going to change anything in the bigger picture.
Okay. And is this Antifa?
Let's see the group. It's not, it's individuals. It's not a group. It's not, it doesn't have a it doesn't have a hidden agenda. They want to all get together and protest and kind of throw their weight around and be loud, and they're mature. They see the rioting that's happening now and the violence, so they sort of scoff at that and say, well, that wouldn't be us. We're mature, we're professionals, they will be respected, we'll get our like-minded friends and we'll be respected. So they're going in thinking that they're going to have more clout, and it's just teenagers in adult bodies that want to get the job done. Their intention is to help, however they are unaware of the other bigger pictures that are going to happen. So unfortunately, they're part of something else. They will be, what you say, at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay. All right. So I didn't mean to make you repeat yourself on that one. I apologize. Trump is talking about a vaccine for people. Why is he promoting a vaccine for us when I thought he was on our side?
He's a light worker. He wants to get in first to save the bodies from a very harmful vaccine. So he is putting his name and his reputation on the line. He wants to endorse a product that has no chance of harming anyone. He knows that this virus is a misdemeanor of fear, a byproduct of terror. He will be promoting this first vaccine because he knows it will be safe. He doesn't want to make vaccines mandatory. Some states may try to force it. It will not be legal for long. There will be no legally binding mandatory vaccines. We say to the parents who are worried about their children who won't be accepted into a daycare because of vaccines, you need to keep your children safe at home. If you're surrounding your child with other vaccinated children, you are risking your child from shedding vaccines, which are just as dangerous as having the vaccine itself. There is not much time left you can handle, and you should focus on having your children at home closer. You will see after the shifts what we are talking about.
So what's going to happen after the shift?
The bodies will be healthy, they will evolve, and they will be strong, and all healing will take place. So there won't be the systems that you rely on now or that you see as your lives. And work will be different, school will be different, childcare will be different. It will be a completely different way of life. And there certainly will not be any harming medicines that will be threatening humanity anymore.
So they won't need medicine whatsoever?
You will need very little, and it will be natural, and it will be emotional healing that is going to be the most important after the shift directly, because a lot of people will still be in shock. And not a bad shock, not a shock that you think of. It will be something different. It will be a shock of being more awake and aware and feeling more in tune with nature and the environment and fellow man. It will be a different form of shock, and it will not have fear. You would have, it's not a little step in evolution that you're about to embark on. It is a big leap. And you will have, we say, training wheels on your new lifestyles for a little bit, because you will have speed wobbles because the leap has been so vast. It will be great speed. You will remove those training wheels. We hope you can understand this analogy, and you will adjust and find your feet quickly.
Okay. Okay, so one more question on the vaccine. Is Trump going to mobilize the military to give out vaccinations for the virus?
He will mobilize the military, but it will not be for the virus vaccine. It will be for something else. Everything that is talked about with the vaccine is symbolic. And most of the public are aware of the vaccine, and they will allow all things to happen in the guise of helping humanity from the vaccine. What actually really is happening is something quite different. We have told you about the crimes against humanity and rounding up the people that will be taken to task.
Yeah.
So we are encouraging the movement of people, and we are orchestrating this. We want people to be in groups, location-wise. We're not referring to the siege that's going to be outside of the White House, but a lot's going to be happening to help with the evacuation of the planet, and all the beings that need to be removed before this shift. We are working hard to get that, and so when there is military that are organizing and forcing people into certain places, it's got nothing to do with the vaccine.
Okay, thank you. So can we just, know that the vaccine, that the first one you said is safe? Is it just water?
It is not water. It is like a saline solution, potentially with a little bit more of an energy, glucose, positive. It's not glucose, it's an energy.
Okay. Can you?
It's not a spiritual energy. It's energy for the body.
Gotcha.
It will be fine. There is nothing to worry about. This is for people who must have the vaccine. This is for the people who need to work in their jobs, who have the employers that demand vaccines take place. This is the vaccine that is going to be offered very soon, is the Emperor's new clothing. It will not protect you from the virus. You've never needed protection from the virus, and you know that.
Right. Just asking for general public. Now, if the vaccine, when it comes out, do the people that have to take it, are they going to be, you said they're not going to be affected in any way by this vaccine. How will they know that they're getting the right vaccine is what I'm trying to ask. What is the name of it? What company or something? Anything to help us be able to know we can look at the vial and know we're getting the right vaccine.
If it's
We don't, Well, trust the cabal.
Yeah. We understand. And we want to say to you that if the damaging vaccine is not on the market and will not be on the market by the time the shift happens. So
Okay.
we understand the fear. We understand people who understand and know how corrupt, how dangerous, and utter crime against humanity the actual vaccine companies are. We understand that for people who know the truth are absolutely terrified, and this is a concern for us because you are then being tripped back into fear. You are terrified, and we do not want you to be terrified again. Just like as we said with the 5G, please trust we are watching you.
Yeah.
That our love for you is more powerful and stronger than you have ever experienced. And we would never do anything that would be of harm. Please trust that we are here for you always.
We do. It's just our clients that are asking us, and we were trying to get answers for them. We're not fear. I do not live in fear. Thank you. And I do trust you, and I love you guys more than anything. You are amazing, and I'm so thankful that you're here to help us. I know you're here to help us. So thank you. Thank you.
And we appreciate and we understand and we know your intent. And we know that these questions are important to hear for everyone. And we are scanning all of the ears that will be listening to this message. And we want them to feel our love to them.
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that answer?
We know that the ears that are listening to this message who are afraid of the vaccine, we wanted to tell them all. We understand that when you tell them about the vaccine not being a danger,
Yes.
one human consciousness telling another human consciousness, and we want to say to all that from our point of view, from our love and our own missions to help humanity, we are doing a very good job, and we are protecting you. And we want you to know this for all things, not just the vaccines. And we want you to say if there's anything that looks scary or anything that looks like big harm to humanity happening in the future, trust that this is on a life contract level of all individuals. And there are big things happening, and we are aware of every little thing. We have to make big decisions to make everything go forward smoothly. The plan is complicated, and we are overthinking everything, over managing everything to make sure that all options, that all moving forward is of the best interest for all. And there are things that are out of our control in part, but not much. We are very much aware of controlling how the shift happens now. We have all the strength and all of the support of many that are overseeing this. And we want to reassure you all with our greatest love that you can relax and enjoy what is left of 3D. And it's going to be scary. So please remember we are here and we are doing our job. And your one job is to not be in fear and trust the bigger picture.
Is there anything else you want to tell me about that?
It will be very fast until the time leading up. And afterwards, if the shift has happened, you will have time to recuperate, emotionally recover, and be excited. While we're all preparing for the shift, you don't know much about the joy and the wonder and the excitement and the amazement that you'll all experience after the shift. When you start feeling like you're getting scared, please focus on all the joys that are just about to be at your reach.
All right. Thank you. Yes. So I know it seems like I'm repeating, but I want to make sure I get everyone's questions answered. Will there be vaccine mandates that we have to take a vaccine before the shift? You said worry about them after the shift.
Yeah, some companies may demand it, and trust that the dangerous vaccine is not going to be
ready.
There may be some testers, there may be some quick hack jobs, but you would be what we would say a vaccination lover. You would be very pro-vaccination, and you would be seeking this out, and you would be volunteering yourself to this your free will, and that is your life purpose, to understand and experience that, and that is also fine. However, that will not be mandatory for all.
Thank you. Now, is there anything else about those vaccines or the virus you want to inform us of?
It's going to be a very small issue very soon.
Are we going to stay locked down or again?
You're going to stay locked down for a different reason, which one that we alluded to when the military is involved.
Military is involved, okay. Is there anything else there you want to tell me? Why the military is involved?
Repeat.
Why the military is involved?
It goes back again to the crimes against humanity. Okay. We said last time that the military court system is really playing big here, which is not being told. It's not a public awareness, and we want to laugh, but we don't laugh at the mainstream media coverage of actually what is happening around the world. And we know that the awakened people understand what we are saying about the crimes against humanity, and unfortunately, it is all true. All that you have heard about the crimes against humanity have been taking place for so long. It's the concentrated residue of all that has gone sideways with this, with the collective of humanity. What the you don't want to say bad people, but what the other agendas are, which are against empowering humanity, what they've been getting away with is quite it is quite concerning, and something that is what we would say is quite disgusting, and yeah, it's outrageous what you're doing to each other.
Yeah, I agree. I want it to stop so bad. I just don't understand why are they preying on our children? It's just so sad, because they're just so innocent and they don't deserve this. And it's psychologically so hard for them to recover.
Well, it's a meat product. It's farming. It's farming for the consumerism of eating that form of meat.
Yeah. That's sad. Is there anything else you want to share with us about that?
For the people who cannot understand, you eat meat, you eat animals. Animals have souls, animals have parents, animals have families, animals have social connections. To understand the people, the beings who enjoy the human flesh. It is the same as someone who craves and enjoys bacon. It is the same for someone who enjoys steak. It's the same for someone who likes fish. The same for someone who likes chicken. We can go on and on and on. It is merely just another food. There is emotional attachment to the idea that people eat other people because of the empaths in you and the connection of loving your friends and family and children. You can't comprehend that someone's going to come, for example, and start. We want to make a joke because this is now getting very heavy, but you can understand how you would be concerned if someone came and nibbled on your husband's calf as a meal, but yet if it was a cow or another animal, you wouldn't be so connected to other animals being slaughtered and eaten. And this is what is needing to be seen as the bigger picture here for all those people who are outraged. Look at the bigger picture. All lives matter, not just the humans for this. So we understand it. It is more complicated emotionally, and we understand. We are not condoning any. It is just how it is, and it is something that is going to be stopped.
Good. Thank you for that. We appreciate the fact that Trump's doing everything he can to stop them. That's awesome. Thank you. Will we have the use of the internet after the shift in December?
We see the systems of communication as quite different after this shift.
Will we have glass pads?
Glass pads.
Yes. I've heard of glass pads that are used on the ships.
I don't know if that's how we call them. We communicate differently, but it's not through an internet system.
Okay, I understand. Okay. And you said after the shift in December, we wouldn't need money anymore, correct? The money system would be gone and the government would be gone?
There is governings. There's governings of beings who enjoy organizing, and it's not for their ego. It is about organizational skills. It's not about control and manipulation anymore. It's not about kickbacks and false endorsements and hidden agendas. The governing beings and the groups that will be present will have their own specialties, and they will be making sure that all is going well to provide. It's not very complicated because life won't be very complicated.
Is this why we were told, I was told in a session that Trump would only run for part of his term once he won? He would win, but he would only be there part of his term, and then it would change. Does that mean that we won't need him anymore? Is that when it's going to change?
Well, systems will be restructured, and all beings will be doing their own governing of their own selves. We do not see that there will be a need for a president for the United States of America, because it will be finally seen as you will be a body of one, and of your new earth will be one. You will not see the differences of location as being separate groups of other people. It will be more localized. Think of it as community-based connections. In some ways you'll be very advanced, and in other ways you'll be very simplistic with your lives, and you won't be needing the bigger structures of overbearing government systems and rules.
Will we be living in colonies of mind-like people?
Yes, that is a very good description for your understanding of what that will look like.
Okay. That's what I thought. Thank you. Now, I already see them building apartments around my house. I mean, they're going up left and right, stack them and pack them. Why are they doing this? Why are they getting us all into the cities and packing us in?
Because they don't know what's about to happen.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me about that?
Things are going to look incredibly different after the shift.
How different? Well, I mean, can you give me some type of examples of things, how they'll be different? Well, are we still using power, for example?
It will be a different system, just like how your communication will be different from the internet.
And you said once the shift happens, we will have our telepathic powers, or are we going to have to wait longer?
It will start off just with the beings that you're around physically. And as you balance and stabilize yourself in the situation, you will grow your skill sets. If there are people that are very attached to you normally, thinking very close friends, very close family, regardless of their location, you will be able to connect with them. But you will be able to remember that there is actually other beings, more beings that you are able to connect with, that you don't know in this lifetime. And so it is about reconnecting to all your soul family, and recalling how you're connected to each other. You can imagine being conscious of everyone's mind. Say 10 people is a lot. It is very hard. You have to learn slowly how to master the communication and connections. We'll use this analogy on your Facebook browser where you have got 5 people you're chatting to. It's hard to continue on the chat at the same time, to follow the same conversation. It's too much. You will be able to connect with more people simultaneously and have a longer dialogue with them telepathically, but it will take some time. So it's hard for us to explain to you that you will have deeper connections with people simultaneously, but you won't be able to connect with the world and say hello and have conversations. You can understand that that would be something you actually would not want. So you can have very quick communication telepathically to closer ones. And as you grow and master that and focus, and it will get stronger and stronger and stronger. It is hard to explain the limits and the growth and the steps and stages that will happen and occur quite quickly after the shift, and we don't want you to get too concerned about what you can and can't do, because what you will start being able to do at the beginning, and then say, when we don't want to use time, but we will for this conversation, in a month, in 2 months, 6 months, and a year beyond that, it will be quite different, and you'll grow in strength quite quickly. And so it's hard for us to say how instantly you will change and grow and strengthen. I hope that we are explaining ourselves. We feel we've got a little bit lost in the detail of trying to express the ways about communication.
I understand that it's going to take time. So the adjustment period that you were speaking of, once the shift happens, it could be months, it could be days, or it could be like up to a year for some of us, most of us, or all of us.
Everyone will have growing lessons, and it depends. We used this analogy one time where it is Christmas morning and you have to open up all your gifts, and we want to use this one again. You've opened up all your gifts because the shift has happened, and you're looking at all of your gifts, and some need batteries that you don't quite have. Some need to be assembled, and you haven't assembled them yet because you have to have Christmas lunch. Some of them are, say, for example, a book, and so you have to read through it and you have to have more time. And so while you have instantly all of those gifts, and we're using so many symbols now, so we hope that you are able to follow, you won't be able to use the gifts until, for example, you read the book. You won't be able to use another gift until you assemble it. You won't be able to use the other gifts until you power it. And we hope that you can see the analogy that we're doing here. You will get them straight away, but you will have to unpack them, assemble them, grow them, spend time on them. And
yes. Yeah.
We would love to explain it quicker, but we also want you to be able to understand there is many processes that need to happen first.
Okay. Thank you very much. I mean, that did, I appreciate that. So if we have a different type of power after the shift, is that going to come from the pyramids? Is that the power system that they bring up?
For the people that are going to stay and will move on to, for the people who are going to stay with the earth as she moves and shifts into the fifth dimension, there will be other powers, but it will be different. You will be able to get the power of nature for energy. There will be so much differences. You'll go back to nature and letting nature work with you again.
Okay, that's interesting. Is there anything about that you can tell me that'll help us a little bit more?
The power that the power and the purpose of the pyramid is a docking energy source for some ships, and some of those ships aren't here now. They were not able to come, and it is fine. We have more ships. We have more ways of doing what we need to do, and Earth is different from the time when the pyramids were made, and there is different energies that we're working with now to help with the shift. The power for the pyramids was really for something else. They were not built for the evolution, the reincarnation of Earth.
So they don't really have a role in the future, they're just monuments now?
Yeah, yes, that's more how we want you to view them as.
So they really aren't going to have a purpose in the future?
No.
All right. So they're not going to change whatsoever. Okay, let me ask another question here, if you will.
They will not be on the new, they will not be used in the new Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really our skill set of focusing on the new Earth. But what we've just noticed now is that the old Earth, there's a docking. Some of the ships that are going to come to the old Earth will be identifying with the pyramids, and there is a connection there. And we will say Anunnaki, and we leave that there.
So those are for the 3D people who are going to see those ships?
Yes.
Not us in 5D. We'll know it's not. It's false.
You will not see them. You will not be there.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. What else will change for us after the shift that we will be doing on a daily basis? Is it going to be like our reality now? We're still in our apartments, our homes, with our children?
No, you will be in a completely different place. It will be more connected to nature. Your living will be quite different. There is a lot of shifts and changes. You sense that when people listen to this, because they won't sense the lighter, the excitement and the harmony and the bigger mindset that goes with the fifth dimension. We know that when we talk about this more, the 3D mindset and the carbon-based bodies all get a little bit scared. And so we don't want to paint too much of a picture about changes, because we can't say all of the aspects of the changes. And so we're very much aware that we're trying to sell it to you as a positive, because it is a positive, but we also know that everything we say, it's a little bit more scary. And so we know that while you're still, and we say this with humor, you're still a little bit addicted to the drama and fear of the unknown. And so you would have to understand it by being in the fifth dimension to completely understand it without being triggered into the fear of it. And so only the people who have done their inner work and see the bigger picture and trust, those are the ones that are able to handle more information, because they have the curiosity and they have done so much in preparation emotionally for the shift.
Yes. Okay. And I know you didn't want to go into details, but will we still have children, be able to reproduce children when we're crystalline bodies? Or will we reproduce?
Some will and some will not, depending on where you want to learn and focus. There is a different focus when you're in the crystalline body. It's more about growing yourself rather than being distracted by growing others. And so there is longer processes. There's so much to learn in 5D about self that raising children isn't something that is necessarily a need as such. We know that you won't be able to understand that. It's different. You can have a child, but you have different purposes for it. And again, we feel like this makes you more concerned, and we say that it is a different lifestyle, and the beings who are here need that focus of self more. They can see that it's more important to grow within oneself than to produce more children for the need of a distraction of self. And that's the best we can explain for the beings we are, and for our focus on who you are and what you need to know. And we are not speaking to all who listen to this now. We are not we are conscious that there's too many people that are concerned about this information, so we will just say that after the shift, and as you mature into your 5D reality, you will not have the same concerns and fears as you do right now. In your 3D reality, you'll be more connected to people in the most profound of ways, and the desire to produce more children will not have the same
It'll be different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And our current children that we already have, they already have their powers and their inner memories. Is that correct? And they are just waiting for the flash to happen, for them to awaken. Is that correct?
The youngest of children are the more easily ready to evolve with the shift. They will be the ones that help the others. Ironically, they will be the wise ones, and the older humans will be the new ones, because they will be needing to be taught everything so much. And so it's a flip-flop.
Okay.
The people who will struggle with the shift the most will be the elderly, and the really, we don't want to say closed-minded, but yeah, people who are not aware of anything. They will be so conditioned, and they have so many beliefs that they struggle with the bigger concepts, even though they have the new bodies and the new mindsets, or the bigger mindsets. It will not be new, it will just be bigger. And so it will be the children that will be leading the way, and the youngest ones. And ultimately, we're not talking babies, obviously, but they will also be very powerful. We're talking about obviously the volunteers, but also what you would probably say your teens. They're all ones that merge to be the stronger leaders who will be the way shows.
Okay. Wonderful. So the children are going to help us a lot whenever the shift happens.
We
The
have,
information, a lot of it, we would be able to just talk to them and they would be able to help us even.
we have implanted into your mainstream dialogue a slogan, and we want you to ponder this. The children are the future. The children will show you the future. The children will help you with the future in more ways than you can possibly imagine. And they are your key to transitioning easier.
Okay. Thank you. So the ones that we have around us now will be with us when we cross.
Initially, and then we all are free to move to the place that's the most appropriate.
Okay.
So wherever the greatest soul lessons are, will be your focus.
Can you repeat that, please?
Everyone will shift at the same time, and when you have your more greater awareness of who you are and you remember who you are, you will your life contract more and where you're supposed to be going, and you will be placed exactly where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Remember, you will also recall and meet your other families who are also waiting for you.
Our galactic families.
Correct.
Okay. I'm excited to meet them. I really am. Thank you. Is there anything else about that I'm missing that you really want to share with me right now?
When you ponder the shift, release all fear. Anything that's anxious, release. Anything you're anxious about or scared of, release it. If you have any questions, if there's any pieces of the puzzle that aren't there for you, trust us, as we have said, that all will go well. We know that you're attached to your bodies. We know you're attached to your lives profoundly, and the change will be beyond what anyone will be able to comprehend. We say all these things to you and we could tell you more, but it's not until you're there, right there, experiencing it physically and emotionally, then you will get it. It's everything. You cannot comprehend all of the layers and levels of this shift.
Okay. So my next question was, on the new Earth, will everyone look human? But you're not going to give us those answers yet, or are you? Will they look human? What will be the differences?
You will have a glow. Now your bodies will be functioning differently. You will still be recognizable as human, but yet different. Think of your body now and think of evolvement. Think of evolution. And you're losing the things that are holding you down and gaining the things that will make you more